weekend, the world got a glimpse of a new, more fuel-efficient, quieter, and sleeker killing machine. General Dynamics, the defense contractor giant, showcased a prototype of its next-generation military tank, the Abrams X. This is the largest upgrade of American military tank technology since the start of the Cold War, former military officials say, highlighting critical design advances and concerns about unnecessary military spending. The Abrams X comes with the typical features of modern military weapons. Powered by a diesel-electric hybrid engine, it is lighter and far more fuel-efficient than today's fuel-guzzling Abrams tanks. It can also operate with a smaller crew and has an artificial intelligence system to find enemies, its makers say. But the design faces an uphill climb in the halls of the Pentagon, military experts say. Russia's war in Ukraine has shown the promise and dangers of tank technology on the modern battlefield. Military strategists worry how useful tanks could be in a potential war against China, the U.S. main military rival. Equipping lethal machines with artificial intelligence is also a concern of military skeptics. It will be difficult for the tank community to find the resources to undertake a major upgrade, said Mark Kanchin, retired Marine colonel and senior advisor at the Center for Strategic and International Studies, a national security think tank. Shortly after the Vietnam War, the Department of Defense put the Abrams tanks into operation, with the goal of matching Soviet firepower and technology. The M1 Abrams tank has served as the main battle tank for the U.S. Army and, until recently, the Marine Corps. The Abrams tank has undergone many changes in the past century but has been plagued with several problems. It is expensive and wasteful of fuel and is not as agile on the battlefield as lightly armored vehicles, such as the Bradley fighting vehicle, say military experts. Over the past few years, General Dynamics has been trying to solve the problem, said Tim Reese, the company's U.S. Director of Business Development. General Dynamics did not disclose a price tag for the Abrams X, which is still in its early stages. Reese says the tank weighs about 10 tons less than the current model. Its diesel-electric hybrid engine will be 50% more fuel-efficient than the Abrams tanks used by the military now, which require more than a gallon of gas per mile traveled, Reese said. The design will also be slightly different. Instead of soldiers sitting in the turret on top of the tank, they would be in the hull. The creators say the tank can operate with a team of 3 people, one less than usual. The Abrams X has upgraded the armor to protect it from bombs dropped by drones. The tank software is another big improvement. The artificial intelligence system on board can be used to spot dangers at a distance. Reese envisioned a scenario where the software could warn soldiers that an enemy tank was miles away and have about 90% confidence that it was a threat. Tanks can also communicate with unmanned aerial vehicles, which can scout for hazards ahead. In a combat situation, said Reese, the tank's artificial intelligence can prioritize its target list when there are many enemies. But it can't kill anyone automatically. Ultimately, a human operator, the vehicle commander, makes the decision whether to engage and what to get it with, he said. Kanchin said the Abrams X was a major leap for the military tank program, but noted that it would face challenges getting approval from top Pentagon officials, who debate how useful the tank will be in America's future. The war in Ukraine has taught several lessons, he said. In the early days of the conflict, he said the Ukrainians outmaneuvered the Russian tanks easily, a sign that the machines might no longer be useful. But as the war progressed, officials from Kyiv said tanks would be of great help and kept asking Western officials for them. On the other hand, the United States' main strategic rival is China, and the battle with Beijing will be largely fought by naval and air power, said Kanchin, rather than tanks. A lot of people looked at these tanks and said, you know what, this isn't going to help us at all with China, he said. Bill Hartung, weapons expert at the Quincy Institute for Responsible Statecraft, said it was too early to say whether the Abrams X tank would become a technological marvel. As the military has seen with other high-tech machines, such as the F-35 fighter jet, he said complex weapon systems can be a multifaceted blessing. They are more difficult to maintain, subject to technical glitches, and more expensive than expected. The Army must proceed with caution, he said. Harding also noted that equipping tanks with artificial intelligence comes with risks. Experts have noted that poor data can lead to poor decisions in battle. Harding said it was too early to know how this capability would work in war, but he was not hopeful. They make it sound like they were going to be this magic weapon, said Hartung, but that's very rare.